Welcome back. Today we are joined by Chris Jones from Edward Jones. Chris, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Mary.
Yeah, our pleasure. So today we'll be talking about when you can choose retirement. And I feel like a lot of people may be wondering how you can achieve flexibility to get to decide when you want to retire. So do you have any tips for us?
You bet I do. Thank you very much. There's probably 4 questions that retirees or pre-retirees should ask themselves before they can plan to retire. The first question that they should ask would be, when would they like to retire? So by having a goal to identify with to retire at a certain age, that gives you the ability to plan around that age. Number 2 would be, what sort of retirement lifestyle do I want? Some people will want to travel the world. That might take a little extra money. Some people might want to stay at home and just work on some hobbies. So depending upon what your lifestyle will be like after you retire, that would determine the type of money you should be putting aside to be able to achieve that goal. Number 3 would be, am I saving and investing enough? Most people, I think that answer would probably be not quite. But again, the younger you start to invest and put money away for retirement, the easier the task becomes. That way you can invest a lesser amount and spread out over a longer period of time. And then the final thought would be for people when to retire is when they should consider to take Social Security. Most recipients can begin Social Security at age 62, although if you wait till full retirement, you can get much bigger monthly checks, and that would start at age 66 or 67.
Okay, so one thing you mentioned was figuring out if you're saving or investing enough. So what are some signs to look out for that indicate you may be meeting or you may be short of your saving for retirement?
Let's start in 2 fashions here. We'll start with savings versus investing. I think the first goal would be more important to set up an emergency savings plan. That way you've got money put aside for emergencies. It could be house related, medical, whatever. If you've got money put away for that, then you can then focus on putting money away for retirement through investing. The way to track that is to kind of determine what you think your monthly expenses will be when you do retire. And even if you plug in Social Security, that should only constitute about 40% of your monthly needs. So you need to work out a budget and see what kind of outflow you'll have, and then compare that with your inflow. And you're always better off to make sure you've got more money coming in each month than you have going out.
Okay, and so you also mentioned the first question you should ask is, when do I want to retire? So what are some ways you can determine when you want or when you should retire?
Well, that would be based upon several factors. I think you would look at your family DNA history as far as lifespan. You also might want to look at what your plans are. If your plans are to do a much wider array of hobbies after retirement, you might want to start retiring a little earlier to allow time for that. On the other hand, if you're going to need more money to spend after retirement, you might want to plan to work longer to make sure you've got that extra money put aside. But again, the best way to do is to set a goal. It'd be best to work with a financial advisor who can help you with that goal. And then each year you can go in and monitor where you are at this time, see what progress you're making, and to make sure that you're on track to reach the goals that you can, so you can retire at the time you would like to.
Right. So how do we get in contact with a financial advisor from Edward Jones so we can discuss that plan for retirement?
Thank you, Mary. My office is located at 1005 West St. Martin's Drive here in St. Joseph, right behind the Chamber of Commerce building. But we also have roughly 9 other locations to serve the community. So the best way would be just to check out who would be close to where you are, either where you live or work. Make an appointment with one of the local branches, and we would be more than happy to make sure you've got a plan underway and to help you reach those goals so that you can reach your plan on time.
All right, sounds great. Chris Jones with Edward Jones. Thanks again for joining us today, Chris.
Thank you very much, Mary.